Hey guys, MasterClass here of course, and today we're covering the Riga. Now, let's go straight into modules here. Aiming systems, what I recommend, you definitely want that extra 7% dispersion buff. It does help things out. Propulsion mod, definitely want to get it moving. Concealment mod will really help you out. You could go with steering, but I think concealment's a little bit better. It's nice to go dark sometimes, and main barrier mod just for best reload. In terms of upgrades to go for, I'd probably go with the Riga hull first, then maybe the guns, then targeting system. Range is nice to have, but sometimes it can be detrimental having a little bit too much range. It's got inherently quite good range already, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Your gun reload obviously could be a good thing, but I think increasing your survivability will help out quite a bit, really. So the commander we're using here is Ivan Be Delightful under the guise of Snow Maiden with his base trait Phantom Bane. We'll take off Ivan's guys. There we go. So Ivan Be Delightful, Phantom Bane, buffing your reload and your detectability as you're firing. Go with intuitive, beyond range, punch through, 3 roll for even that additional accuracy, and then refill station with Norman Scott buffing your accuracy a little bit more, and then Billy taking down your reload a little bit. So we're going to put Snow Maiden back on. That's what I'd recommend if you have. If you don't have Ivan Be Delightful, you've got Nikolai Kuznetsov, which you basically run the same build. It's just you don't have that additional accuracy with the penalty of concealment because you're just running fixated instead of female roar. Again, same sort of inspirations I'd recommend, and you get some pretty good results. Overall, pretty darn good in terms of the options there. So take a look with the hull off in terms of the armour here. You've got a 25mm nose with a decent icebreaker. It does cover the rear as well, not as much though of course. And yeah, take that off real quick. You can see the turtleback, it does not have a turtleback. The citadel is relatively exposed, but it's not actually exposed unlike most Russian boats. It's pretty above the waterline of course. You've got a 35mm deck which will shatter quite a lot of HE. That being said, your superstructure is quite large, so that is indeed a problem for your super heavy cruiser sort of build here. So the deck's pretty tanky, again as you mentioned before. The citadel is exposed, but is above the waterline, but is actually well protected in terms of the exposure as well. You'll still get citadel on the site pretty reliably. You've got a torpedo player protection of 27, that will also help you out quite a bit. And as we mentioned before, the deck is very tanky. You can bounce some shells and it's going to help you out a little bit. You're not at least bouncing off your citadel like you are with some of the Russians. The guns are a little bit fragile, but considering they're cruisers, it's actually pretty good. We put the hull on. I don't think it changes much at all. No, nothing really much. Just taking a quick look through here. Yeah, typical angle well, and you'll be fine. Don't get broadside because it will hurt. As well, we got 220mm guns, the largest cruiser guns that we have besides going super cruisers. That is Alaska, Azuma, and then Siegfried, I believe, as well. So yeah, we've also got 11.7 radar that lasts for 20 seconds. We're running intuitive, so it lasts for a little bit longer. If we take that off, it lasts for 20 seconds. Again, not very much. It's more of a support radar, just letting them know where things are, not necessarily being able to kill the target in that time. Yeah, he's pretty meaty, and your ability is going to be very bad because this is a kind of hefty cruiser. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So without much further ado, let's head into the game. So we're in Greece here with the Division Medieval here in this Friesland, and yeah, we're actually going to get up at Stalingrad. It's going to be pretty nasty for us again because this thing is basically a little brother to Stalingrad, and that's basically how you play it. But you need to play it a little bit more carefully because you don't have the same armor scheme as Stalingrad. You're a little bit more fragile to shots, so you need to be playing this very carefully. You can't be too aggressive in this boat unless near the end game, but even then you still got to be very careful. I recommend entrenching yourself in a good position and then just covering an objective or a cap. You're kind of like overseer, and whatever comes near your way you just deal with, and then once the area is completely under control you push on and move on to the next area. I think we have a little bit of a fender bender here. No, we actually clear something there. So we're pretty much here. We don't have to push too much. We're very similar to like a battleship in terms of our selectivity, in terms of guns. Very powerful guns. You can citadel pretty much, and you can deal with reasonable damage and potentially citadel anything broadside, especially in Iowa as well. That's not a good idea, but you really want to focus your damage on dealing with those cruisers and just getting as much damage as you can done, covering that objective, being that deterrent that battleships can be, but you're a little bit more flexible because you are, of course, a cruiser at the end of the day. Which means you have to be a little more conservative of return fire, but if you angle correctly, which we can here, we can fire the guns and turn our angle here and get some decent hits on that Vanguard. Again, 5 pens for 10k damage, that's not bad at all, it really is. I was expecting a Citadel. I'm kind of surprised, considering the Riga guns are very good Russian guns, but unfortunately that's just not the case. We're still getting some decent pens. Every pen hurts, it really does. That's already 13k, we've got a relatively fast reload as well, so 17k, there we go. And we're just really picking up some good steam here. Champagne is there. He has no line of sight of us, so we can fire that for free. And again, Champagne, almost fully broadside. We should get some decent hits there. Yeah, 7 pens and a Citadel. These guns are no joke, and by the time he's already fired, we've got a quick reload again, about 12 seconds, round about that sort of number here, and we get some really nice damage on these boats. Yeah, not bad at all. Every little bit helps. Considering our fire rate, these smaller numbers that you'd get from battleships is so acceptable. It's brilliant. Now, we need to push into the Alpha Cap here, support our destroyer, support our division mate here, and basically, as I said, we're just zoning the Alpha Cap. Anything that gets too close to Alpha Cap, we're going to deal with, really. And in the meantime, we're just taking pot shots at broadside targets, no matter what they may be. We've got to be careful on the ships on Bravo side, because there's potentially a Stalingrad there, and we really do not want to get shot by that. It's going to hurt so bad. So, we've also got a Champagne as well, which we need to be considerate of and careful of. We're going to push in here, though. We're going to keep an angle if we need to, and we're going to help that our division mate here, then the DD, shoot down some planes. Again, the planes are pretty good. It's got pretty good decent AA, and you can definitely use it as some sort of like a mobile AA fortress as well. Taking some shots from, it looks like Vanguard? Maybe from Vanguard. I feel a little bit lighter than that, I'm not so sure. Stalingrad has popped up. We're just in range here. We're going to try our best to get a shot here. A little bit late in firing, to be fair, but he does get away with it, unfortunately. So, unfortunate. We could have got a really good shot on the Stalingrad there, but he did get out of that situation. We're pushing into the cap. We've already captured Alpha here. So while we're here, we're going to get some more pot shots, and then we'll push into Bravo once we have the correct position, really. We got to be very careful, because again, we just got to respect the battleships, and definitely respect that Stalingrad. There is no joke that he could mess us up pretty easily. That Vanguard as well, if we give him broadside, that's pretty much end game. We spot an Akizuki here. We're definitely going to fire what we have here, and then we're going to try and switch to HE. We're going to try to switch to HE. Okay, apparently not. I wish we could have switched to HE here, but that was a little bit of a mistake on my part. But I think the Friesen dealt with it, and that's probably why I was concerned. I think this will be fine. Friesen will easily deal with, well, an Akizuki, I believe it's an Akizuki. Yeah, he actually had a reasonable, easy time dealing with an Akizuki, considering the support he had. I was getting ready to pop the radar, but it looks like he didn't need it, so that's fine. But we could have popped the radar just to keep him spotted a little bit longer for our Friesen to murder him. I believe that was an accidental radar, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it must have been an accidental radar. I don't think there was anything that I could have spotted with that radar at all. The DD's gone, so we saw him die. I think maybe it was to just keep anything out of that cap. Maybe we could spot out that Stalingrad and so forth like that. I'm not sure. I think it was a potato though. Pretty sure that was a potato radar. I don't think there was any reason we had to pop that radar in here. But hey, that's just how things work. Sometimes you just butter fingers. I'm just gonna say that one. Take some shots at, oh god, that Bismarck, we get nothing done. We're a little bit stuck here. I'd like to push forward here, but we gotta make sure that Vanguard is dealt with, because he has a broadside. So, take some pot shots at the Stalingrad, and we're going to push in soon. We just need to get a little bit more of that sweet spot. I think Vanguard is completely vacated here, so yeah, we're just going to push in soon. It looks like we've got a wee convoy of battleships here. There's no need for us to be first, so I'm more than happy to just let people pass by here. So we're going to push with this weird battleship convoy we have going on, and we're just going to push into Bravo Cap, because obviously being contested, probably by the Stalingrad / the Bismarck as well. So we're just going to push in here, and yeah, we're just leading a strong convoy at this point. It's not really a lemming train in this situation here, it's just a strong convoy. You've got the Riga here providing support for the cruisers, for the battleship, sorry, and yeah, got a Champagne pushing in front as well, and we've got an Iowa close behind as well, so we've got a lot of good options here. Vanguard has kind of returned from his adventure to the end of the map, and again, we're just going to take the opportune moment. You know, more than happy to sit back and get those targets sorted out when we can, and push in only when we need to. You don't want to be too aggressive in Riga, because you will die very quickly. giving those broadsides, you've got to be very careful. It should be simple Riga just dead strike. You got to be very careful. But once you get the job done and you push in, you can get some really nasty damage. And we've not fired for too much. Before 29 chill hits, we've picked up a 45,000 damage as well. Taking a pot shot champagne, we didn't really get much of a good shot there really. Couldn't provide much lead because of the island. So yeah, we're going to push here and we're just going to hold this objective again, because anything that pushes forward in front of us, I'm pretty sure we can deal with the support we have. Hipper pops in here. We're just going to try and see if we can get a clean shot on him here. Yeah, we're firing good shots, good salvo on that Hipper again. What the Riga's built for really is dealing with these cruisers. Unfortunately, we do get overpens. We don't give him too much broadside, so we'll try and push into this bit here as much as possible and avoid getting shot by the Hipper, because he could hurt us pretty bad. Probably could have shot the Hipper here with our back turned to it. I think a little potato on my part. But then again, I don't know what's going to push forward here. This could happen any minute. I want my guns trained towards, yeah, that potentially Minotaur, which the Champagne dealt with for us, which is very nice of him. But yeah, you gotta be very careful. I wanted to be very careful because that Minotaur could have easily done what he's done to the Champagne to me. So that is certainly, yeah, that's certainly what I was expecting. So I really wanted to have the sonar active, as you saw here, and just do what we can to try and avoid that. If we push in here, it's going to hurt us quite badly. We have the points lead. Yes, I think we do. Yeah, we've got 400 points. They've got 374. So we don't actually necessarily have to push this. So we're really wanting for them to come to us, because if the things stay as they are, we're just going to win anyway. So I'm more than happy to stay here and wait for them to make a mistake rather than push in and potentially get ourselves murdered. Bismarck decides to push in. He's had enough of this, and we're going to try our best to punish him. A little bit of a mess salvo there. Still 2 pens, still good damage adding up. Bismarck's secondaries are going to do a little bit of work on us here, but again, he's only going to hit the top part of it. That's the damage there. Everything else is nothing really. It's going good about. There we go. I get much more satisfying salvo there. Bismarck is pushing in, but then again, we've got Iowa behind us here supporting us. It looks like the carrier's trying to do something over here. I'm just going to hit superstructure. Didn't get that much of a good shot there, but probably the next shot will be pretty decent. Realistically, he's not going to get the shot. He's not going to survive the ram or whatever he's trying to do here. The guns go in. There we go. Right in superstructure, we deal with him pretty comfortably. It looks like Stalingrad is next up for the grab. We're straight bow in here. We should be fine against Stalingrad here. He does dev strike our Minotaur. That's a little bit unfortunate. We're going to fire here, try and break his gun. We actually score a Citadel hit. Kind of surprising here, but I'm actually not complaining at all. It looks like he's going for a ram here. No. So he does fire us here. It does about 6k through the front here. We're going to hold our shot here and wait as long as possible to try and get this broadside shot in Stalingrad. He could hurt us pretty bad, but he's going between 2 of us. We're going to fire our guns here, and that's pretty brutal. That's 4 citadels, and that's Stalingrad gone. Looks like he was going for the ram on the Iowa, maybe try and get the shot on us, but we were angled pretty much the entire time. So even if it was Stalingrad pen angles, it just not going to, be a little better. We finish off the Champagne, close to a double strike, but I think we're just a little bit, like 1 or 2 seconds off. So that's a little bit unfortunate here, but we're just going to push in forward here. We've cleared this cap here, and the game's pretty much over, so we're just going to push into Charlie Cap and see what we can do done. Just get this cap here. As you can see, just being patient and being very tactical with how you're playing this the Riga can really get you good results. You don't want to be too aggressive. At the end of the day, you're not a battleship, but you can get some really good punishing salvos on things that are broadside. Opportunist slash cover of flanks. You really want to cover an area until the area is completely safe, and then you push on. Realistically, that's how I've been playing it, and I've been having really good results with Riga. This is almost a stock Riga. It's got 1 upgrade. That's the hull. That is it. And you can see what we can do. You can do some really nasty stuff with these guns if you're smart about it. You just make sure AP is really what you want to go for. The HE does indeed work. I don't recommend it really unless you're shooting destroyers. I'd be treating this as a mini Stalingrad, but with HE as a nice bonus as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're just going to push forward here and get that cap. Caps are worth pretty much more than kills, so we should be alright here. It's the best single action you can do in a game, actually. Mains is over here. While waiting at the cap, we actually might as well push that mains. He's giving us a relative broadside as well. Carrier pops up though. We really can't turn into the carrier. He's gonna potentially prevent us getting this cap. He's going to cause some problems, and we've got AP loaded already, and he's giving us a flat broadside, so it's going to hurt. Yeah, that's one citadel. Could be much better, to be honest, but hey, just do what we can here. Looks like he's suiciding or just giving up, and honestly, you know what, fine, don't extend the game too much, and you know, honestly, a lot of respect there. I'd rather just end the game this way, because it looks like the game's over here. There's not much he can do. Unless he's really adamant in killing things here and gets his really good job done, I don't think he's going to clear the game. So he's pretty much dealt with that. Nice couple nice citadels, nice high caliber pickup there. And yeah, next thing to deal with is that mains, who thinks AP... Oh, he's not going to get much done here with his AP. Whereas RP, I mean, a little bit underwhelming that side, but over pens is fine as long as it's good damage still. I'm pretty confident in an armor scheme that we're not going to get penned by mains. Mains has got pretty good AP, don't get me wrong, but the pen angles are not really that great. We have our sonar running just to make sure that the mains is not going to rush us too badly. We get some pretty meaty hits there, plus the citadel. I'm more than happy to expose some side just to get him a little bit more confident in giving us broadside as well. And then we kick him up here with the citadel, and we pick up the Kraken as well. So overall, quite a good example of how I'd recommend you play the Riga. 169k is not bad, for 12 citadels, Kraken, and we do pick up a 3.5 base with medieval picking up 3000 as well, so pretty not bad. Hope you guys enjoyed this as always, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.